Okay, calm down. Just breathe. Okay, I really wanted to love this watch. I really did. I've got to try and keep it in as good condition as possible for this review because it's going right back to the store after this. So if you're wondering why the bracelet is obviously looser than my mom after she gave birth to me, well, out of the box, I did actually resize it to fit my wrists, but I noticed something that annoyed me so much that I immediately put all the links back on and threw it back in the box, but we'll get back to that later. First of all, the dial is beautiful. There's no doubt about that. My pants tighten a little bit every time I look at it.
I'm sorry, it's the pleats.
The way it seems to shine and play with the light, there's not much better you can find at this price point. One thing I did notice about it is that it's a lot flatter than it looks in pictures. I expected those grooves in the dial to be stamped in pretty deep, but they're not. Which isn't a bad thing at all, but just something I noticed finally having it in hand. One thing I'm not crazy about after seeing images of the SRPE 065, the discontinued Japanese domestic version of this watch that, came out however many years ago now, is actually the font that they used on the word Presage. The font they used for the word automatic on the SRPE is so much more elegant and attractive. This one looks like they slapped a fucking infinity tattoo on a beautiful girl and just called it a day. No, Crystal, your tattoo doesn't look good, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd still fuck you, but just to be a little bit closer to your hotter sister. I do love the blued seconds hand, but in my experience, it doesn't pop nearly as much as I expected it to after looking at tons of pictures and reviews. We do get a signed crown, we do get an exhibition case back, which is always a welcome addition. The gold rotor is a nice touch. We also only get 50 meters of water resistance, which is completely fine for a dress watch unless you're a clumsy idiot that shouldn't be allowed anywhere near water. Oh. I don't even need to pull up my Ninja Turtle ruler to get the dimensions. This thing, as everybody knows, is 40.5 millimeters.
Enough said.
In my opinion, unless you have wrists the girth of Johnny Sin's dick, a dress watch should be no larger than 38 millimeters. And even that feels like it's pushing it. What is with these Japanese brands like Seiko and Orient making such large watches? Back when I was first getting into watches, I had my eye on the Orient Bambino, but the case size completely turned me off.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that one looks good. Oh yeah, look at that. Fuck.
When you're dressing up, you want something small and elegant that slides under the cuff and doesn't draw too much attention to itself. Not something that looks like you just strapped a fucking dinner plate to your wrist.
Hell yeah. Ready for a night on the town.
There is a ladies version of this watch that's available. It's about 34 millimeters, I believe. And I think that's the perfect size for a watch to slide under your cuff if you're going on a date or, whatever you're doing. Small wristed guys, don't be afraid to wear something just because it says ladies on it. It's 2021. I'm wearing pink panties right now and it feels great. You can feel great too. Don't give in to the big watch trend. For the movement, we get the standard Seiko 4R35 inside. A movement that's available in Seiko watches you can find sometimes for
$190
and in fucking Invicta watches and in just about every micro brand ever. You can even find this thing on eBay for $30. What the hell is that? Look, I understand we're paying extra for the dial and the domed crystal. When this watch costs the same amount as its predecessor, a watch that came with the superior 6R15, then what the hell are we doing? We're rolling over and letting Seiko fuck us in the ass is what we're doing. Just spreading our cheeks, lubing us up, and we just let them go to town. The 4R35 isn't a bad movement by any means. I've had no problems with mine. It seems to be keeping perfect time. It does hack and hand wind, which for me at this point is almost necessary. But when you're paying upwards of $575 for a watch that has a movement that can be had for $30, and again, is inside fucking Invicta watches, you could expect something better. Not hating on Invicta, but they're selling sub $100 watches that have the same movement as this. The bracelet really doesn't fare much better here, and because in my rage I reattached all the links, I can't show you why exactly I don't like it, but I mean I can try. First, it's really jangly. I'll put it up to the mic so you can hear it better. As is expected from Seiko, we get hollow end links, which normally doesn't bother me on watches that are in the sub $200, $300 category. But again, this watch at retail costs $575. Yeah, you'd be an idiot to pay full price, but there are people that do. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about manufacturing, but does it really cost that much more to make solid end links? Seiko can't shrink their margins just that much more to give us something that this watch should already have. They already cut costs with the movement. They still can't give us solid end links. The clasp might be the worst part about it. I don't think it's absolutely awful. It does the job, I guess. It's a butterfly clasp, which is neat. I've never had one of those before. A butterfly clasp would be neat if it didn't protrude off my wrist so much when I wear it. It looks like a fucking speed bump. But by nature of the butterfly clasp, there are no micro adjusts, but we do have two small end links on each end of the bracelet near the clasp that you can take off or remove to get the perfect fit. But I've found that it either wears too tight or too loose on my tiny baby wrists. But overall, I think the bracelet does look quite good. It suits the aesthetics of the watch. Now for the thing that really sealed this watch's fate. Yeah, I'm probably just unlucky, and I understand there are always manufacturing errors, but this thing has two noticeable pieces of dust, or some kind of flakes underneath the crystal. You're not going to be able to see it on camera because I don't have a macro lens, but just know that they're there. They're really noticeable to me when I first shined a flashlight on this watch, and I just can't unsee them now. There's one stuck to the left side of the 12 o'clock marker, and another close to the left side of the... Was it the 7 o'clock? Yeah, it's the 7 o'clock. Sorry, I can't see it on camera right now. At first, I thought they might just be some flakes on the crystal, or maybe it was just the way the dial played with the light, but nope. I know that I could easily take them out myself, but I shouldn't have to. It's a brand new watch. I shouldn't already have to crack open the case back and take out the entire movement just to wipe away a couple flakes. This watch is all about the dial, and that just really soured me to the whole thing. Another thing is that any kind of dust or flakes that I might have on my hands or from wiping some flakes off of the crystal seems to get lodged in between the crystal and the case. And I can't get it out with anything other than maybe a sewing needle, and I'm not about to go digging in there when this thing has a mineral crystal and I'm going to be returning it. I'm a walking before picture from a Head & Shoulders commercial, so I just know this thing is going to be full of dandruff if I keep wearing it. All in all, I think this is a beautiful watch with some major flaws, especially when you compare it to its predecessor. If you don't care about the movement inside and you've got some larger wrists, then absolutely go for it. And you'd probably be better off to save a bit of money and buy the version that comes on a leather strap instead of the bracelet. Put that extra money towards a nice leather or pearl-on strap, and you could really bring the aesthetics of this one up to another level. Well, that's all for now. Suck my ass and have a good day.